Are you ready for our last two questions for our social studies assignment for today, Tuesday? So we are going to find out more about protests. So you want to activate your background knowledge. Think about what you already know about this question. What is a protest? What do you already know? The second question is, people take part in a protest because, why do you think? Before reading, why do you think that is? Have you taken part in a protest? Do you know someone who's taken part in a protest? Does anyone in your family know someone, or have they taken part in a protest? Now we're going to go ahead and read some more about protests to see if we can add information to our background knowledge so that we can answer these questions. Here we go. And again, protests, all of these things help us. All of these are elements of being a good citizen.
A protest is an organized event. People join a protest to show they don't approve of something. Protests can help bring attention to important issues. They can be a positive way to make change happen. Protests can be large or small.
And important issues, another way to say that, is a problem, important problems.
Kinds of protests. There are many kinds of protests. Rallies, sit-ins, and marches are types of protests. These are large groups joining together for change. Boycotts are another kind of protest. They are large groups of people who refuse to do something. Protests should be peaceful. Sometimes protesters might not be peaceful. Why do they happen?
Aha, that's one of our questions.
People take part in protests because they want change. They hope to help others think differently about an issue. Sometimes people want the government to make changes. Protests help give people a voice.
Being a good citizen.
History. Protests have happened throughout history. In 1913, women marched in Washington, D.C. for the right to vote. In the 1950s and 1960s, people joined protests. They wanted equal rights for Black Americans. Protests still happen today.
And I think we should read this caption. In 1916, people marched for women to gain the right to vote. You used to not be able to vote because you were female. So I'll zoom in on this photo. So this was taken way back in 1916.
Kids have a voice. Protests are about making your voice heard. Join a trusted adult in a march. Start a club at your school. Write chalk messages on your sidewalk. Join others to work toward change for your community.
Oftentimes, when people want change, they write letters to their government and their public representatives, and they usually write persuasive letters, or they write what you guys wrote. They have a claim, they have evidence and reasoning about their opinion, about their argument, and why things should change. And oftentimes, representatives read those letters, and it makes people more aware of issues. So that's another element of protests, of being a good citizen that you guys have had experience with. If you are a good writer and a good speaker, you can convince people why your ideas are what they are, and you might be able to change someone's ideas to make them do the right thing and be more kind. All right, now we get to go back to our seesaw. Here we are again. Again, you're going to answer this question, these two questions. Remember to use complete sentences and include the question in your answer. Feel free to use this sentence stem in your answer, and also feel free to reread or rewatch any of the videos so that you can get a really good answer. Thank you so much, and have a great day. I can't wait to read your answers. Thanks for being awesome.